I am grateful to see Christian-oriented cinema succeed, which this, I don't know if this is directly a Christian movie, I think it is, but at the very least it has that foundation. Now, it's got a couple notable names in here, I'm sure, that obviously are main attractive, and from what I've heard, this film has done very well theatrically speaking, and maybe not. It's another one of those holiday releases that came out, I believe, during December. Yes, on Christmas Day. So this was another one of those films that got lost in the shuffle of, The King's Man, The Matrix Resurrection, Spider-Man No Way Home, West Side Story, Nightmare Alley. Like, all those other movies were airing at that time. So it was a very busy holiday season. And, like, The Lady of Heaven, I heard also. That one, I don't know how well that one did, but at least it was very popular in terms of, like, online social traffic, especially on YouTube. That one got a lot of views coming into that film. But this was, airing at the time, and it sounded, again, like an interesting release, and, I didn't actually know that it was a Christian movie. I knew it was from Lionsgate, and I definitely respect their work. I mean, I haven't liked all the movies, but for the most part, I've liked what I've seen. But I didn't know who was behind it. I mean, some of the talent, of course, you look in here like, oh, I know those faces. Anna Paquin's in this, Zachary Levi, Dennis Quaid. And Dennis Quaid's a very interesting name because he's been in 2 of these films thus far. This one was being done by the Irwin brothers, who, Andrew Irwin and John Irwin, who I think they're just given director credits. I don't think they were writers on the film. Let me take a look really fast. So, no. John Irwin is. Okay, so John Irwin was, I guess Andrew Irwin was just directing. John Irwin was fulfilling both roles. But this is based on a book, All Things Possible. I haven't read it yet. But the Irwin brothers, some of you might be familiar with that name, were heavily involved with I Can Only Imagine, which was a stellar Christian film. Of course, that was based on the story of Mercy Me, very popular Christian group's frontman Bart Millard. And his story. Very good movie if you've never seen it. But so they're doing this one. I, of course, have seen that. I Can Only Imagine. Loved it, as I said. I'm easily game to watch this. And as a Christian, I loved, again, see Christian entertainment do very well. This is what this according to IMDb. And this is a very applicable story, I'd imagine, that I'm sure is going to appeal to a number of audiences. Maybe not specifically Christians, but many more people. And again, this is a major studio affiliation with Lionsgate, so I see the traits here. Very successful release. The story of NFL MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, who went from stocking shelves at a supermarket to becoming an American football star. What an inspirational story. I sort of had that journey too, where I started in retail. I left shortly after because I'm like, well, I did it for a year. I'm like, moving on. I didn't go to the sports world, but hey, there's some pretty successful people out there. And again, this is based, I believe, on a real story. I love watching biopic movies. We'll see. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff on this channel specifically. Well, I mean, I've covered a lot of documentary projects, especially within the sports world, but I haven't seen... There's probably been a couple sports biopics I've looked at. Again, I look at so many movies, and maybe I've just lost 1 or 2 off the top of my head. But I do love watching biographical adaptations, so this should be very interesting. We're gonna go, now, this is a very interesting marketing strategy, though, because normally you think when you start marketing a film, you go with a teaser trailer, or you go with, at the very least, a teaser or the main trailer. This started out with a featurette behind the scenes, so they obviously want you to know, right from the get-go what you're in for watching this. And again, I would imagine to explain more of the story and the involvement of the creators. And I love watching featurettes on this stuff. It gives me a heightened sense of awareness regarding the film and respectability, because you're able to better understand what were the intentions here. I'm curious to see maybe how far this goes. I mean, well, let's see what they say. We're going to go ahead and watch what do they call this? From the dream to the big screen. Okay, that's a very inspirational name for the featurette. So we're going to go ahead and watch this first. We'll talk about it more in my condensed review segment for us watching the video together. All right, let's give us a look. Here we go. Let me get it rolling. Okay. Now, come on. There. I'm not a big football person, but I'm excited to see an inspirational story.
Who want a second chance? When I was a kid watching Kurt Warner play football, everybody knew the story. He was working at a supermarket.
I obviously needed to get out more because the story is new to me.
Then gets in the NFL. Welcome to the Rams. He wins the freaking Super Bowl.
As I was saying, it's interesting Dennis Quaid starring here because he's been in both I Can Only Imagine and this one. So he's obviously an Irwin Brothers regular.
He's come from nothing. He's tried, he's failed, he's picked himself back up again, and eventually he actually does succeed at getting his dream.
Will you go out there and you show the world what I've known all along?
It's about relationship, it's about real life. He is a champion, but he was the same person before all this happened.
I've heard so many people over the years that say that they've been inspired, they've been encouraged because of my story. And that's what I think is so cool.
It is nice to see the involvement
not just an NFL,
from the subjects of the film so heavily. Again, there's that authenticity to the story.
Football his entire life, still throws a football beautifully.
We're wanting to really honor what they went through and their life experiences.
We're all on some journey in that regard. And I think that that's incredibly relatable.
I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what comes next, but we did this. We did this together.
It's a very sweet story. They definitely have chemistry.
You can keep striving towards. It doesn't have to look like a superstar or a superhero.
Everybody has their challenges, their struggles, as they're trying to chase their dream. And my story, I think, encourages people that you can actually get there.
Destiny, it belongs to the underdogs.
That's very sweet. It's a very grounded story. Now, I am surprised it did very well, though, because I have to say, in context of the holiday season, as I said, there were so many bigger holiday releases that pretty much anything else would just get lost in the scuffle. But this did, I remember, I have a good turnout. Maybe that's because, again, Christians see it and they're like, hey, I want to go watch it, because maybe saw the Irwin Brothers affiliation. They thought, oh, I can only imagine. I remember that movie. There's a movie I was thinking of them. Oh, Lionsgate also did Lionsgate do I Can Only Imagine? I thought that was from a different studio. I thought that was from like Focus Features or something. I might be off on that. They might have been Lionsgate. No, I don't think they were Lionsgate. I think they were different. Or different distributor. But I Still Believe was, I believe, Lionsgate's, right? I think that one was. And that was, of course, based on, all the Christian releases thus far, like, they weren't, were the Irwin Brothers involved with that? I don't think they were. They might have been. Let me take a look. Man, both films are good though. You've never seen. They were. Okay. That's not a shock. All right. Well, I Still Believe did very well. So obviously, okay, while I'm looking at this, where did I Can Only Imagine come out from? I mean, this is going to bug me all day unless I look at this and get it correct. Production companies. Let's see. This was from LD. Oh, no, they were Lionsgate. Okay, at least the theatrical. I thought it said Focus Features, but maybe I'm wrong. Nope, they've all been Lionsgate. So, obviously they're Lionsgate regulars, but I forgot, but told you, I really like Lionsgate content. Now, they do, of course, more films that's in multiple different genres. They don't just do, Christian faith-based films, but I don't know if this one specifically. I would imagine that component is there because of the other films that the Irwin Brothers have done. But it's a story that I would imagine, again, I can only say this based on a first introduction. I don't know Kurt Warner's story. In retrospect, the way they're talking about it, be like, oh, I grew up hearing it. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess my childhood wasn't satisfactory enough. Because I don't know yet. But hey, if this is a first exposure, it's going to teach me a little more. And plus, maybe it's just never been big in the football world. I'm just really not. I mean, I like the Super Bowl based on the commercials and stuff and the movie trailers, but other than that, I'm like, I don't really care about the game. Sorry. I never really cared for football. What I'm thinking here, though, again, I imagine probably it's a very grounded story. It seems very inspirational, very real, very human. And maybe that was a point of appeal. They're like, hey, on Christmas Day, you can go watch a very meaningful story, right? And that would, again, appeal to, I believe, most people. I'm just wondering, maybe if there has to be a component, because again, of the films that they normally do. Maybe they just wanted to do a grounded story that, was very, it was honest, it was, down to earth and respectable. We'll see. I'm sure if the trailers would flesh out a bit more, maybe if I were to read up a little more on Kurt Warner's story, I'd see that component in play. We'll take a look at the trailers, but I can see why this film did very well. I mean, again, football fans, people who are familiar with Kurt Warner's story, the obvious big names in the cast: Dennis Quaid, Zachary Levi, Anna Paquin. Well, I mean, Zachary Levi's gonna be in the new Shazam movie. He's very popular right now, and well, I mean, Anna Paquin was too. I mean, I've been a huge fan of her from the the X-Men films. And Dennis Quaid, as I said, seems to be an Irwin Brothers regular. He wasn't in the I Still Believe though. No, he wasn't in that one, but looks good. I'll see what you'll think from a theatrical perspective. I do plan on seeing this though eventually. But what do you guys think for now about that featurette? It's a very interesting way again to market the movie that you put the featurette first. But okay, give me a bit of a baseline maybe going in that better helps me understand the picture that this movie is going to be focusing on. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Don't forget all the good stuff, like, subscribing, sharing, hitting that bell. Until we get to watch more from American Underdog in the future, which of course I will see you guys at a point that happens to be. But for now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves, your fellow man. God bless and peace.